So here's what I learned after investing 17,520 hours into copywriting. Some of the things that I wish I known when I was starting to write copy, and also whenever I had my first clients, because I'm pretty sure this would help me get them even more money for themselves and also make more money for myself. So if you actually want to discover what these are, I have 14 different things that I wish I knew again, and I'm gonna give them to you absolutely for free. So you don't have to invest those 17,000 hours, and you don't have to invest as thousands of dollars as I did back then. So number one is tell the whole story. You should say all you can every single time, but just keep in mind never to be boring. Like there's a golden rule in copywriting that says there's never a copy too long, just too boring. And that's it. Like just don't just write long just to write long. Actually make sure that whatever you are writing is related to that thing that you want to sell or you're trying to say. So always ask yourself this following question, like, is this actually related to whatever I'm trying to say, or is this just fluff? If it is fluff, if it is something boring, just like cut it off immediately. Because if you make people get bored, or if people get bored by reading your stuff, they are never gonna buy because they're never gonna get to the call to action. So point number two, don't assume anything. Tell your full story every single time. So what do I mean by that? Let's imagine I know you've been watching me for a long time already, or if you're a new person, welcome. But let's imagine you've been watching me for 2 years, 1 year, whatever. You know that I've been able to help clients get over $165,000. That was my first free trial client, and now I help business owners sell millions of dollars worth of inventory, right? And also I make $2,500. I'm planning to scale that to $20,000 in the next 6 to 12 months. Now, even though you know me, even though you know how good I really am in providing value in my videos, I still have to tell you every single time at the beginning of a video, like, hey, this is what I do every single time to get this much money for my clients. This is what I do to make $2,500 every single time. Here's the people I work with. Here's how much money I've gotten them. Why? Because it is important. Even if people know you and know how wonderful your product is, remind them how good your product is and or how good you are by showing that proof by backing that idea up. And number three, admit one or more insignificant flaws. What I mean by this, it is just like when you actually admit you're not perfect, people are going to take you seriously and they're going to trust you more, because we know there's not such a thing as somebody being perfect or something being perfect, because it doesn't happen, it doesn't exist. And so, but you have to be pretty careful because it has to be insignificant flaws. It cannot be something big that's going to harm you in a negative way. So something significant would be, let's imagine I'm showing you or teaching you how to make money with copywriting. So I would tell you like, hey guys, I got one of my clients $165,000 as a complete beginner. I didn't know what I was doing, and I'm not any smarter than you. Probably you're smarter than I am. And so as you see, I'm showing that as my flaws, and now you're going to believe me, right? And that takes us to point number four. I believe I made a mistake here, and it is that fulfill on headline promises. I've seen this happening thousands of times, and and this is something that happened to me all the time whenever I was learning how to write copy. And it was I was putting something in the headline or in a subject line, and I was not even talking about that thing in the body at all, or in the VSL or in the sales page. And so if you've used a strong hook in the headline, please make sure you fulfill on that in the body copy, because otherwise there's going to happen something that I put in these two graphs. Number one is what happens if you actually fulfill the promise on the body that you put in the headline versus if you don't. So as you can see, one leads to the sell and the other one leads to no sell. Why? Because people feel you just betrayed them. People feel lied to, and you are actually harming your reputation as well, because people are just gonna see you like somebody just trying to get attention, being clickbaited, but not in the intent to actually back those promises up or show that you actually have that solution to their problems. Number 4, number 5, platitudes and generalities roll off the human understanding like water from a duck. This is what Claude Hopkins says in Scientific Advertising. He says that if you actually use general words, if you use general terms, you're gonna kill your sales. Basically, you're gonna kill your money. And the reason for that is we don't understand vague stuff. So let me show you an example. You and I are together in a room. There's another person. Let's imagine it is a chef, right? So you ask the chef, hey, what are we gonna eat for breakfast today? And the chef says like, we're gonna have, I don't know, fruit. You think apples, I think bananas. But at the end of the day, whenever the chef brings in the foods, it's not apples, it's not bananas, it's watermelon. But we're gonna feel disappointed because it is not the thing we thought it was gonna be. Now, that's my real explanation of what being abstract means. So how can you be specific? Just like instead of saying fruit, say like watermelon. And now it's way better. So if you're trying to teach people how to make money or how to get clients for their fitness, one-on-one coachings, whatever, don't say I'll help you get fitness clients through copywriting, because it's just like pretty vague, pretty abstract. And this happened to me a lot, believe it or not. So you could say stuff like you'll get 7 $3,000 clients every month for your one-on-one coaching, barely doing any of the work yourself. As you see, this is pretty specific, pretty clear, like 7 $3,000 clients. Now your prospects are going to be able to picture that in their minds and say like, okay, so 3,000 times 7, that's a lot of fucking money, right? So now you just painted something they want. So I want you to do this every single time. Write to one person from one person. Never write to an audience. Again, this is one of those mistakes I was making all the time, and maybe you're doing the same thing. So just write like you're talking to a friend about something in a bar. This is something that I learned from John Carlton in one of his courses. He says like, just imagine you just talking to your best friend about something, and that's it. Just use the words that you would use to talk to that friend. Communicate your ideas in the way that you would communicate them, and that's it. Don't overcomplicate your stuff, but just keep one person in mind. Also, remember you have an ICP, ideal customer profile or persona. Just talk to that person. Put a name to your audience, and turn that audience into one person. Put a name. So let's imagine the name is John. So that's my audience. My audience is John. And so every single time I write an email, I record a video, I'm recording the video for John. Do that. It works like crazy. No, next point. Make your copy easy to read. Simple is better than complicated. I know we've been told in schools and many other sites like the most complicated words you use, the better and the smarter you sound, and the more intellectual you're gonna be seen as. But this is bullshit. This doesn't work in copywriting. And to make money with your words, you have to write pretty simply, in a simple way. Don't ever use complicated stuff. And so here's a quick fix for you. And oh, by the way, if people can't understand your message, you lost them forever. They're never gonna come back to reading your stuff. So here's the simple fixes. Always write in a third grader reading level. It's easy. Use Hemingway app editor for you to know how good you're actually writing or how simple you're writing. Use short and simple words. Don't use complicated words. They don't work. And also mix long and short sentences. And make sure you break those sentences down with spaces. Like you write a sentence, you hit enter, and then you write in the next line, always leaving like a blank space in between paragraphs or sentences. You can always break, I'm sorry guys, you can always break long sentences with ellipses, meaning 3 dots, or dashes, and break your copy with subheads. What are the subheads? Let's imagine I'm writing an email. So I'm going to start writing something, and then I'm going to put a random headline in between what I'm saying to get people's attention. Remember that most people don't even read your stuff. They just skim through the text and hopefully find something that might pull them back to reading the rest of the copy. So just do that. Next point, don't joke, guys. funny rarely sells. So instead of being just funny, try to also be educational at the same time if you actually want to be funny, but never be funny because it doesn't work. And 7, here's some of the objections that you gotta keep in mind whenever you're writing your copy. These are the objections that I've seen happening the most, and the more often that I wrote, the more I understood about. I realized these objections, but again, these are not the only objections. That's why you gotta do market research. But I'm gonna show you what those are. People don't want what you sell. I know you've heard that 1,000 times. People want what they want. People want something that can help them for real, not what you're selling. So that's why it's important you do that market research, and you always find the pain that is the most painful to solve, and that's gonna be the one that's gonna give you the most money. Number 2, they don't believe you or in you, so you always have to show them with proof. By the way, this is the only way they can you're gonna be able to cross this objection is by proof. So for example, case studies, testimonials. You If you actually got the results you were teaching, you're a testimonial, you're yourself story, so just use it. Too expensive, you can always compare your products to something else, but never compare apples to apples, like one product to another. What I mean by that is just compare, like, okay, yeah, I know that this product might be too expensive, but actually there's something even more expensive than this, and it is you staying the same, doing like going 2 years from now and still seeing no results, being the same person, being broke, having no girlfriend, having no family, whatever it is. So as you see, you're comparing two things, and now that's different. Number 4, they don't believe they can do it. So just show them it's easy. As I was saying in the previous example, hey, here's how I made $165,000 for one of my free trial clients. As a complete beginner, I had no experience, a prior experience. I'm not any smarter than you, but I just found this thing, and boom, I show you how easy it is. And if you can relate to me, you're most likely gonna buy from me. Then sell with stories. People love stories just like that. That's why movies exist. That's why Netflix series exist. There's always going to be some stories. And the best framework that I can suggest you follow whenever you sell with stories is the hero's journey. So basically, what that says is me, for example, I was broke. I was working a job I didn't like because I didn't have the money to do what I wanted to do. And so I just invested my time and my money into learning copywriting. I landed my first copywriting client that actually pays me thousands of dollars every month. Now I live a good life. I don't live the life I want to live yet, but that's gonna take me to where I want to be. But now, as you can see, I went from having nothing to having the thing that you probably want in this case. That's why you're watching my video, right? So always use it, the hero's journey, like what they tell you in a movie. Number 9, sell with emotion, not logic. Never sell with logic, because even the most highly analytical people in the world do things for emotional reasons. Yes, I swear to God, this is true. So if you don't believe me, let's imagine you're, I don't know, researcher, somebody. So you just want to find the cure for, I don't know, let's imagine COVID. Why? Because they want praise, they want recognition, they want fame, whatever, money. And if you are learning how to make money with copywriting or watching this because you want to make a lot of freaking money, is because you want money. As you see right here, you want money, recognition, status. You want to be perceived as, I don't know, whatever you want. And that's something that's in the Life Force 8 in the book Advertising. If you haven't read that book, I strongly suggest you read it, because you're going to understand a lot of freaking things. By the way, I have talked about this many times in other videos, so just go and watch them. I'm not even going to put them here because I'm lazy. And the next point, position against the common enemy. There's a saying, I believe Dan Kennedy says this: people would do anything for those who throw rocks at their enemies, justify their failures, ally their fears, and encourage their dreams. Basically, if you can have the same common enemy, then that's going to work on your favor pretty much all the time. So for example, one of our enemies in copywriting are gurus. I'm always going against gurus because of that reason. Also because I hate them, because do something positive for the community. But still, as you see, we have a common enemy. So the enemy of my enemy is my enemy or something like that. I'm not sure. But yeah, it works. 11, use cliches. Sick as a dog or so hot you could fry an egg on the sidewalk. People talk like this on a daily basis. So again, talk like they talk. And the so what or who cares test. So for example, once you're done writing something, just say like, who cares? And if the answer is no one, then you are cooked. You have to rewrite and start over until the point that you say, okay, yeah, somebody cares about this. Write, then edit. Yes, I've been there many times that I start writing and then I come back and go again and come back and start writing more. Just like write the whole thing in one go, then just come back and make the tweaks. Remember, the copywriting and the money in copywriting is made on the editing, not on the writing. So always write everything in one go and then come back and start editing. But once you're done actually writing. And number 14, this is my bonus point for you since you stayed until the end of this, and it is, no one is dying to read your copy or give you their money. So here's how to fix that in 2 simple steps. Number 1, get their attention and their interest. And number 2, convince them that they should give you money. How do you do this? Pretty simple. For you to get their attention, you gotta show them something they're interested in, something they want to achieve, something they have experienced, a problem they're facing. You gotta talk directly to them. And then you have to convince them you're the right person to give them money. How? Pretty simple. You just show them proof and you just try to convince them by showing them actual factual results, data, analytics, statistics, whatever it is, or even your own story, that it is possible to do that, and then they are going to buy from you. If you want to get so good at copywriting that clients line up to work with you, so you can afford to charge any pricing, even if it is higher than your competition. Also, if you want to feel confident whenever you reach out to prospects, so you don't feel they're about to figure out you're a complete scam and you're not the person you say you are, then feel free to apply for my one-on-one coaching. And that's it. I'll see you guys later.